friends, this is Back to Basics Weight Loss Surgery channel, and I'm Gastric Rose Rosemary, your today's vlogger. And I've got a lot of questions to answer, so I'm gonna go one by one. Do you eat until you get full? I have a little guideline that I learned from one of the conferences that I went to. I talked to a doctor, a weight loss surgery doctor, and he was saying, because I asked him that, I said, sometimes I'm not full. I serve myself a cup of food, but sometimes I'm not full. And he said, the best thing that you could do is, first of all, eat slow. Take your time, savor the food. And I'm so bad at that. Oh, even after 10 years. But now, Connie and I will look up at the clock and eat, and then look up at the clock, and still I eat too fast. But anyway, Rosemary. Anyway, he said that the best guideline that we could have is eat between 3 meals a day and try and not go over 300 calories. If you're going to go over, just, go over a little bit, but try and stay at 300 calories each meal. That's 900 calories. Now, I know some need to have at least 1,200 or more. I'm not your doctor or anything. I'm just telling you what I try and limit myself. I try and stay at that, and that has maintained my weight in 10 years. And usually if I'm eating slow and I'm eating protein first, that is going to help me stay full. So I know that about me. And you really have to, that has to be a personal thing. You have to really work with what you have, at whatever surgery you have. If you have the sleeve, if you have the pouch, you really have to know what makes you full. And I know by eating protein and eating dense protein is going to keep me full faster. The next question, do you know when you are full? Yes. And that's by knowing that I'm going to have that dense protein first. Do you measure and weigh your food? And if so, were you given guidelines to follow by your surgeon's office? I was not given guidelines by my surgeon's office, but I do measure. Even at my sister's house right now. This is a half a cup, and this is 2 tablespoons. I still eat my quinoa, and I have to have my black beans or my kidney beans, and I refry them, not with lard or anything like that. I just make sure you cook them until they get kind of dried out. So that's refried beans. So I measure. It's going to be 2, if I'm going to have quinoa, I'm going to have 2 tablespoons and 1 tablespoon of beans. And it's so delicious with a little bit of cheese. The half a cup I use for, here at Connie's, we eat a lot of cabbage and broccoli, and we measure. So we do that. And we use little plates. The other day, this is our plate. Isn't that cute? Connie has such cute plates. This is our little bowl. And this is if we had chili, And the other day, we had a guest come over. She's had lap band. And, I lost my question. And we served her, and we put plates down. We put this little plate, this little bowl, and we gave her a little fork, a little spoon, and a little knife. And she thought that was just hilarious. But that's the way we serve ourselves. And we didn't put a drink in front of her. We did put it in front of Alfred, but we didn't put it in front of us. So I think that's one of the next questions. Let me go to it. So we do use our small plates to help us. Do you have an appetite, or do you eat because you have to? I try and I don't want to get hungry. So I do my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And sometimes we only do lunch and dinner here because we walk in the mornings, and so by the time we get back, it's kind of like a lunch instead of, we're doing a brunch. But yes, I do my best. We do our best to do that. Do you have an appetite? Or I try and get ahead of my appetite, but I get hungry, yes. I think that after 4 hours, 5 hours, I get hungry. And in between, I'm drinking. trying to get my water in. And I think that's real important. That same doctor said, if you're eating your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then you shouldn't be snacking because you're trying to get your water in between. And, I'm going to do my coffee. I'm going to do my water. That doesn't mean I never snack. Now, that does not mean that. I do every once in a while. I'm living life. Are you successful at not drinking with your meals? Pretty much. I do have a habit that when I go out to eat, I ask that after I've eaten, I ask for a cup of coffee because it's just so delicious after you eat to have a little coffee from a restaurant, right? But I'll tell her in about 5-10 minutes, could you bring me some coffee? And I'll still let it sit there while we're having conversation. And we just love to be out and about, when we can. Connie, I, and Alfred, we don't do restaurants very often. And my husband and I don't either. But when we do, I'm going to have me a cup of coffee from that restaurant. I just am. I'm not going to lie, not even a little bit, like Rob says, about that situation. How do you handle maintaining and feeling full to avoid grazing? That's what I do. I stay with it 300 or so. I can go over a little bit each meal. And I'm going to get my water and my coffee or whatever drink I want in between as much as possible. And for me, I think that every once in a while in my month or so, I try and do a liquid diet. And it just helps to detox the body and get back to feeling full again, making my pouch feel full again. And that's one of the things I've learned to do. Maybe once a month or once every 2 months. It depends. And right now that I'm traveling, Connie and I do that too. So it's just something we've done and something I've done in my 10 years. Am I totally successful? I think so. But I mean, like I said, it's a personal thing. And you have to know what's good for your pouch, for your sleeve, for your band. I mean, for your tool. Let's see, did I answer all the questions? I think I answered all the questions, my friends. I hope I could, I helped in some way. And I love you. Go out and be the best you that you know how to be. Forget about the rest. And do you as best as possible. And I wish you much success and love and many hugs. Bye for now.